Hey there, mystery fans, buckle up, because tonight we're diving headfirst into the world of the unbelievable. We're talking about those true stories that leave you scratching your head, wondering if you slipped into an episode of The Twilight Zone. Get ready for tales of vanishing businessmen, bungee jumps gone wrong, and exorcisms that spiral into something far more sinister. These aren't just stories, they're glimpses into the dark corners of reality, where logic takes a back seat and the unexpected reigns supreme. So dim the lights, grab your thinking caps and maybe a nightlight, and prepare to be amazed, baffled, and maybe even a little bit spooked. Because in the world of strange but true stories, truth is often stranger than fiction. Our first stop takes us to 1957 on the choppy waters of Lake Erie. Imagine a crisp autumn day, the sun glinting off the waves. Larry Bader, a struggling salesman from Ohio, sets off on a solo fishing trip, hoping to reel in some peace and quiet. But Larry never returns. His boat is found adrift, damaged but afloat. Personal belongings are scattered on board. Foul play is suspected, but with no body, the case grows cold. Larry Bader vanishes without a trace, leaving behind a bewildered family and a mystery that seems destined to remain unsolved. Years turn into decades. Larry's wife remarries. His children grow up forever haunted by the father who disappeared into thin air. The case becomes a local legend, a cautionary tale whispered by fishermen around crackling campfires. Fast forward to 1965, a year marked by significant cultural shifts and historical events. The Beatles were dominating the music charts and the space race was in full swing. Amidst this backdrop, 8 long years had passed since Larry's mysterious disappearance. His family had almost given up hope, but the memory of Larry lingered in their hearts. One day, his niece, while casually browsing a vintage sporting goods show, spots a man she swears is her long-lost uncle. Her heart races as she approaches him. The resemblance is too striking to ignore. The man is older, sporting an eye patch and a moustache, but the resemblance is uncanny. She can't shake the feeling that this is Larry despite the changes in his appearance. He introduces himself as John Johnson, a name unfamiliar to the Bader family. Yet to them, he's the spitting image of Larry. The family is thrown into a whirlwind of emotions, torn between hope and skepticism. Johnson, however, denies any connection to Larry. He insists he has no memory of being Larry Bader, no recollection of a life in Ohio, and no ties to the Bader family. His confusion seems genuine. He appears puzzled and sincere, with a blank expression that suggests he truly believes he is John Johnson. Fingerprints are taken to resolve the mystery, but they don't match Larry's. This only deepens the enigma, leaving the family and authorities baffled. The family is devastated, convinced they found their missing loved one, only to have him ripped away again. The emotional toll is immense as they grapple with the possibility of never finding closure. But the story takes an even stranger turn. Johnson begins to experience troubling symptoms that hint at a deeper mystery. Plagued by severe headaches and fragmented memories, Johnson starts having vivid flashbacks. These flashbacks are disjointed but eerily familiar, as if they belong to another life. He recalls snippets of a life that mirrors Larry's, a wife, children, and a fishing trip that ended in disaster. Doctors are baffled by these revelations, unable to explain the sudden emergence of these memories. Could this be a case of extreme amnesia, triggered by some unknown trauma? The medical community is left scratching their heads, pondering the possibilities. Or is it all an elaborate hoax? The mystery deepens as suspicions arise, and the search for the truth becomes more urgent. The enigma of Larry Bader, the salesman who vanished and reappeared as a stranger with a fractured past, remains unsolved to this day. The questions linger and the answers remain elusive, leaving a haunting mystery that continues to baffle and intrigue. Our next story takes us to the verdant mountains of Colombia, where adventure seekers flock to experience the adrenaline rush of bungee jumping. In July 2021, 25-year-old Yesenia Gomez, a bright and ambitious lawyer, decided to take the plunge. Standing on the edge of the platform, heart pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement, Yesenia prepared to leap into the abyss. But what should have been an exhilarating experience quickly transformed into a nightmare. As she took that fateful step, instead of feeling the reassuring tug of the bungee cord, she felt nothing but the sickening sensation of free fall. Yesenia plummeted to her death. Section 5. Whispers of Darkness, the Ossett Exorcism. Our final tale takes us to the quiet town of Ossett, England in 1974. This seemingly peaceful town would soon become the epicenter of a chilling and tragic event that would leave an indelible mark on its history. It's a story of religious fervor, alleged demonic possession, and a horrifying crime that shocked the nation. The events that unfolded would blur the lines between faith and fear, leaving many to question the true nature of evil. At the center of it all is Michael Taylor, a seemingly ordinary man who undergoes a terrifying transformation. Known for his mild-mannered demeanor, Michael's sudden change in behavior would baffle those who knew him. Michael joins a charismatic Christian group led by the enigmatic Marie Robinson. His personality changes drastically. What started as a search for spiritual solace quickly spiraled into something far more sinister. He becomes withdrawn, prone to fits of rage, and starts speaking in tongues. His erratic behavior grows more alarming with each passing day, causing concern among his friends and family. Rumors spread of an affair between Michael and Marie, fueling tensions within the group. The whispers and suspicions only add to the growing unease surrounding Michael's condition. One night, during a heated confrontation, Michael's behavior becomes increasingly erratic. The once gentle man now seemed like a stranger, consumed by an inexplicable rage. He growls, contorts his body, and claims to be possessed by demons. His disturbing actions leave those around him in a state of shock and fear. Fearing for his sanity and their safety, the group decides to perform an exorcism. The ritual, meant to expel the demons tormenting Michael, would become a desperate attempt to save his soul and restore peace to their community. Section 6. A harrowing transformation, Michael Taylor's descent. Michael's transformation is as swift as it is disturbing. What began as subtle changes in his demeanor soon escalated into something far more alarming. Gone is the quiet, devout man who once found solace in prayer and scripture. In his place is a tormented soul racked by unseen forces that seem to tear at his very essence. His eyes blaze with an unnatural intensity, his voice a guttural rasp that sends chills down the spine of anyone who hears it. He speaks of dark entities, of battles waged in the spiritual realm, as if he is caught between two worlds. His words are a chilling mix of religious scripture and incoherent rambling, making it difficult to discern where reality ends and delusion begins. The once peaceful Michael is now a vessel for something sinister, something that terrifies even the most devout members of his prayer group. They watch in horror as he becomes increasingly unrecognizable. The group, convinced that Michael is in the clutches of evil, decides on a desperate course of action. They will cast out the demons that have taken root in his soul. They gather their courage and prepare for the spiritual battle ahead. Little do they know that their attempt at spiritual intervention will have tragic consequences, consequences that will haunt them for the rest of their lives. Section 7. The ritual and its aftermath. A life lost, a mind unhinged. The exorcism is a scene of chaos and terror. Michael, thrashing and screaming, fights against the restraints. The air crackles with tension as the group prays fervently, their voices a desperate plea for divine intervention. Hours pass. The room is thick with the smell of sweat, incense, and fear. Finally, Michael falls silent, his body limp. The group breathes a collective sigh of relief, believing they have vanquished the darkness that plagued their friend. But their relief is short-lived. In the aftermath of the exorcism, Michael attacks and kills his wife in a frenzied rage. He is found naked and covered in blood, babbling incoherently. The man who once sought solace in faith is now lost in the depths of his own shattered mind. Section 8. Echoes of mystery, unanswered questions, lingering doubts. These stories, my friends, are just a taste of the strange and unexplained that lurks beneath the surface of our everyday lives. They are reminders that even in our age of information and technology, some mysteries remain unsolved, some questions unanswered. What happened to Larry Bader during those 8 long years? Did he wander in a fugue state, his mind a blank slate? Or did John Johnson, consciously or unconsciously, craft a new identity for himself, burying his past under layers of deception? And what of Yesenia Gomez's tragic bungee jump? Was it a fatal miscommunication, a moment of human error with devastating consequences? Or was it something more sinister, a deliberate act that claimed the life of a promising young woman? Section 9. Conclusion: when reality outstrips imagination. As we've journeyed through these tales of disappearances, tragedies, and inexplicable events, one thing has become abundantly clear. Truth can be far stranger and far more unsettling than anything we could conjure in our wildest imaginations. So the next time you think you've heard it all, remember these stories. Remember the vanishing salesman, the bungee jump gone wrong, and the exorcism that ended in bloodshed. Because out there in the shadows beyond the familiar, the unbelievable is always waiting to make itself known. Stay curious, my friends, but be careful what you wish for. Sometimes the truth is best left undiscovered.